20 million users as a UA that visited our platform, and we delivered only in UAE 4,300 events and experiences. It was an amazing year. I'm trying to compare with 2024, and we are at, I think the growth was around 33%, 35% from 24 to 25. What I mean with first party is the real customer, the first data which anywhere else in anywhere platform, because that's the customer data which is with us, the purchaser. So you might have forecasting websites that they use AI tools, it might tell you what will happen and so on, but they don't have the first party data. We have it. It's the customer who buys the tickets and it converts, and we collect the data later. Which is the discovery, which I told you guys is the search phase of what I want to do. Cart means they add the tickets in their cart. Checkout, they want to pay. And purchase, they confirm the payment. And orders and revenue. We went further, and we even will share with you guys how the revenues overall got affected. We didn't specify exactly the events, we just anonymized the result, which means as a lump sum. Okay, now let's understand where we were at the beginning of the year. I told you, 2024, we were 33% or 35% plus with 2024. We started the year really strong. We were at 15% up compared with 2025, which was a stellar year for UAE. That until 27th of February. I'm giving you the baseline because we will use a graph where we'll show the baseline, which is the normal conditions, and whatever is up or down will be a drop or an increase based on the normal conditions. Then we will have the day of the disruption. But one thing we need to keep in mind and understand is that it was not only that. We have the overlapping of seasonality. We need to take in consideration the Ramadan. Usually, Ramadan, it's affecting the event industry. We usually see every year a 30% drop in entertainment consumption during Ramadan. This is a fact. This is a given. Yes? So, if we blame it only on the tensions, we are wrong. Then, we need to remember we had 3 days of floods, which overlap with the tensions. We can't just remove this from our analysis because we will see that the overlapping effect has a certain result, because at some point we've seen recovery, and then because of the floods we've seen again a drop of 80%, 70%. So everything to do with the psychology of the customer and their capability to mobilize themselves to go out to commute is affecting the sales. Every small detail affects the sales and the economy in the end. Sorry. So this is the storms. Now let's move forward. This is, one second. Yeah. So this is what happened when things started happening. Yeah? Everything was on minus. Minus 47% searches. Minus 50% people reaching us out. 52% browsing stop. What we've seen is the intent was to search news. So from searching what should I do, go out, was what's happening today, what are the news. Everybody was scrolling in that direction. And then the cart dropped. People were not interested to buy. Even if they were browsing, they didn't actually want to do anything. They didn't have plans. Checkout, it's usually it's like a butterfly effect. If the first funnel is down with a bit, then it goes down harder later. So was the overall effect that the tensions had on the event industry, on the purchases. We know we are not the only ticketing system in town. We have other partners that are selling tickets, but we have around 80-something% of the inventory of UAE. Some of them are not ticketed, but this gives us, what I want to say is that this gives us a good visibility. It's pretty accurate. Now, even if the drop happened, we've seen that after a while we started seeing a bit of recovery, plateau, and then we started seeing recovery. Yeah, and then this is a bit of how did we calculate it. We looked at the supply, how many events were on sale at a given moment. This is the behavior, because Google tell us a lot about the customers. We can see when they want to search to go out, we can see them when they want to actually see the news and so on. So GA4 gives you a lot of details. And this actually got better when they upgraded, Google upgraded the algorithm. And then the economics. This is what I was telling you about. This is the baseline. It's in normal conditions. And here we can see this is, and then the disruption. So naturally, the ticket purchase behavior is because of the Ramadan. But then it just dropped abruptly. Usually this should start coming up if we compare year over year, but actually it went down. So, in 28th of February, the disruption started. Then, what we are seeing here, like we are overachieving the year before. We had the Eid, which was actually a very courageous move from the governments across the region to put out shows. They were mostly Arabic, so we are talking about local genres, local artists, comedy events, and big congratulations to football. The Pro League committee agreed and decided to go ahead with everything, nothing to stop, plus other events that were happening around. But the headlines is Arabic concerts. Anything Western was postponed or moved further. All of us know it was very hard to rely your business on canceled flights or rescheduled flights. On the 7th of May, we crossed the 100% baseline. So that was the moment where we've seen positive signs, recovery, and we were actually compared with last year at 7% above last year, the same time of the year. So, which was a very good positive sign for the market. Then we've seen in this part, we've seen a stable recovery. Usually this is normal. This is the median. So this is not like this was the whole year like this. No, this was the median. And if we overlap year over year, usually all of us know that end of May, beginning of June, it's a slow month. We have vacations, we have so on. And usually it's like that. But then, the big surprise and what we learned from World Cup 2022 Qatar is that even if the World Cup happened in Qatar, UAE benefited a lot. We've seen that one big event in one of the countries in the region actually brings a very good economical impact around the rest of the countries. And this year, the World Cup fan zones did really well. Yeah. We were not expecting that. We sold 99% of them. Even in Bahrain, with our partners from Aldana, they did amazing. Congratulations to them. And they are here with us today. Hello, Bahrain. We have special guest guys. They did amazing. Was one of the best fan zones in the region. World Trade Center had an amazing fan zone. The experience was unbelievable. We had in Expo City, but the result was unbelievable. It brought a lot of ticket sales. They made people go out, forget about their problems. They hang out with their friends, and it pushed up compared with last year even, because I think last year in this period of time we didn't have much happen, but the overlapping tells us that. Then we are here, yes, which is AFC Champions League and other events that we are listing now on the platform. And again, we can see that it's above the baseline from last year. What does that mean for us? Is that the intent is there, people want to go out. We had the previous panel, if they miss their international artist that is being postponed or cancelled, they will replace that hangout for something else. So they want to go out for something else, and the players in the industry should be able to put out activities to fill those gaps. Yeah, and even with Bahrain, we had an amazing delivery with Big Bounce Arabia. They were sold out every day. We had the Toy Fest, again, amazing delivery, sold out. So I think people were just waiting to go out for the right product and for the right activity. I can say this, yeah, about, I'm not saying any confidential information. Okay, what we did is football played a really important role in the stats as a UAE, but what we did is we removed football because we don't want to, you know, to tell you that football was the driver. But if we remove football, we have the graph. Oh, sorry. We have the graph, keeps the same shape, but we can see that here we really had amazing delivery of different other events. And actually this year comedy had the headline. Anything to do with comedy was sold out. So, Eid period, we had Arabic concert inventory. It was very intensive. Then June, as I told you, Arabic and comedy had the headlines. We had some classical inventory. We had some amazing collaboration with New Covent Garden. We had some good collaboration with Coca-Cola Arena, Etihad Arena. One surprise this year was the opening of Space 42 Arena, which actually scored between the 14,000 seats venues and 1,000 something. So Space 42 is exactly between 3,000, 5,000, and that's actually a niche of artists that they can't naturally have an event in a 14,000 venue, but they can't have in a 1,000 venue, and your P&L needs to make sense. But because of this middle ground venue, we enable a new, let's say, market of artists that people would like to go, and in the end also the P&L to make sense. So from my perspective, that's something that Dubai should also look forward to fill it up. We have World Trade Center, but World Trade Center is busy as it is, and to fit in live shows that will be around between 3,000 and 5,000 seats, it's a bit complicated. And for our friends from Coca-Cola Arena, I think for them to close half of the venue and so on, and the operational cost and so on, doesn't make sense for them as well. So in the end, P&L needs to make sense. Yeah, so this is how it looks without the football. And then we don't have the data for the rest, but if you guys can see, the trend is ascending. So it's going up, and we have a lot of events that should be announced soon. Let's move forward. Yes, so as you can see, guys, the orders are actually 30% higher compared with last year. So we are beating last year in terms of orders. But what we can see is that the average bill is a bit lower by 30%. And we have also a certain type of tickets that is dragging down this number. I would not say it's 100% real that the events in general have a lower bill, but it's actually because of the fan zones. So fan zones had a lower ticket price and the amount of tickets we sold was really high. So it diluted the value average of the ticket. So automatically the average bill, absolute average bill, it's a bit lower with 30%. But the good news is we have 31% more people going out and having fun and enjoying the time. This is the, if you ask me, this is the metric we should look at, because these customers, they go out and they consume F&B, they pay taxi, they maybe get a hotel to stay over in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. So this is very healthy, and I think this is the direction that right now the market is taking, is to get people out of their house, make them be part of their ecosystem that can grab some revenue from it. Moving forward, the most common question I have is, what about the international tourists? Okay, I said about this in yesterday, and in UAE we have 8% local customers, local event goers, and we are at 15% international, where the lowest point was 6.1, but the normal period last year was 25.4. So this is the normal attendance of international tourists overall, all of the events. But we need to specify that they are extremes as well. For example, an artist of a caliber like Ed Sheeran, this number will be around 40% international tourists. For an Arabic concert, this number might be this, so 85% locals. But this also, it's different from country to country. Countries neighboring very close border with other countries that can travel and the infrastructure is really good. This can be even international tourists for Arabic shows. Now we are at 15.7 and we are seeing that is growing. So this is good news. We are not yet there, but we have good signs. So this is really helpful. So we've been from 6.1 to 8.1 to now recovery 15.7. And congratulations to all of you guys. You are part of the event industry. I know how hard you guys worked to recover and make the market go back. And only us know how many times you guys called us to take the advice and then you took the risk. So it's really appreciated. Thanks to you guys, we have these results and we can present this today. Now, we so here we did the profile countries where are still below the equivalent period last year. This is something I really love to present. So the events, we are 92% above with the audience. What does this mean? Local audience. So the events, year over year compared, we have 92% more local customers. Outside UAE, events have as a abbreviation, yeah? So 35% down. Attractions, it's 11% up actually. So tourist attractions, international tourists are actually 11% up with international visitor compared to last year. Sorry, UAE profile. And 26% down outside UAE. And this, it's actually because of Really, I've seen from our partners that are activating in attractions, they created amazing packages for the local community to go out. From family package to inclusions, like you come over here, you get your towel included, you get a locker, you get. They did all the best, and I remember when we shown this to one of our partners, a venue here in UAE. He said, literally, you just said what I did all of the summer. I went out to attraction, I went to the concert. So the data, he felt he's part of this data, of this 11% growth of consuming attraction as a local. Okay, now, please take photos. This is really important for your event. This is how the nationalities got affected when it comes to traveling in UAE. The winners, our friends from Egypt and Oman, actually they grew compared with last year. So we have more visitors coming from Oman and Egypt to visit UAE in this period of time. But unfortunately, the rest of the nationalities dropped as visitors. So we can see United Kingdom, we are 46% down as users that are buying tickets for events. United States 59%, India 51%, Saudi Arabia we had a drop of 45%. So yeah, France 30%, Kuwait 27%, Germany 20%, and Canada 52%. So thank you so much Egypt, thank you so much Oman for visiting UAE and go to our amazing events and attractions. Moving forward, now we have some nationalities which actually grew. Yeah, so we don't have only bad news, but we can see the Brazil visitors increased almost 400%. Okay, China 300%, Jordan 70%. Maybe this is also because we became more active in Jordan and now we are there present. South Africa, we grew 33% in our stats, and Georgia 30%. So yeah, this is very interesting. For us was a big surprise. So while other markets are going down, some others are growing. The amounts are not too big, but it's very good to highlight it. Now, so this is exactly I will show you at the beginning of the year how the genres were doing and then how they grew later. So here we have the Arabic. We started the year with the lower, so this is compared with 2025. So we started with 8% down, but because of what happened, they grew by 304%. So Arabic Arabic music orders grew by 300% because it's actually one of the only contents that we can put out right now because of easiness and simplicity of bringing the concert production. The setup is really simple. They don't need to fly in from US, big production and so on. So it's actually really the winner right now. Comedy as well. We started with minus 47 compared with beginning of 2025, and we grew 136%. So as I told you at the beginning of the presentation, the winners are comedy festival, comedy events, and Arabic, and comedy festivals. Right now, we have Dubai Comedy Festival. I think we sold out many shows in the first week. So the reaction is really good. EDM and nightlife, we started with minus 11, but then we have a 48% up. Daisy was plateau, but then we grew by 65% thanks to our partners. They brought amazing acts in Dubai Opera, in Etihad Arena, in Coca-Cola Arena, really good. Classical as well, we have a 10% up, and pop, rock, and other live music, which this is the point. This is the Western acts, the international. Unfortunately, because of the logistics, they went even lower. So we have Western acts, but a very small scale, like Jimmy Carr will perform, but he's one of the few that he's coming in. Now, let's see who's buying. Yeah? So, here, if you see, three things shifted, yes? Who is buying, what was selling, and how much each order worth. Yeah? So, we have 92% UAE profile. Who's buying is UAE residents. What they are buying, Arabic music and comedy. Also we had EDM and Daisy, but not like them two together. And then the value went down by 30% compared with last year. Now, here, what did we do about it? Did we stay in the office and let's say stressed about it, or did we call our organizer and we planned? And really, when I will share my experience, when it started, we immediately started calling all our clients, making sure they are fine, telling them we are here. Anything you need from our side, we will be with you, we'll support you. Rescheduling, going ahead with the event. So we had events that we changed the date. Then events that got canceled because the artist couldn't do another date. Then we replanned everything. Whoever chose to go and reschedule, we rescheduled everything. And then we built new tools. So what we did is, I think, as I said in the previous panel, because we were not in that rush of delivering the events, we were in the planning, we had more time to sit and spend with each other to understand what do we need to develop together to make better decisions. And we really sat down, we listened to everybody, we created prediction tools for artists to understand if an artist is coming in, we can actually tell you if they will be successful or not. We developed some forecasting tools that will tell you how many tickets you'll sell. So we did few things. Even we created some AI tools that will allow you to see in real time all the metrics of your event, which is again a game changer. This is the artist prediction tool. So what happens is that having 18 years of data in the region, primary data, it's a unique position to be in, and we want to give back to the industry. We want to help the wind industry. We grew bigger, that's true, but we grew bigger in order to help others. So this data that we have, we want to help organizers to take better decisions. We want them to be successful. We want them to sell more tickets, because that's how we will win in the end. So a combination between primary data, secondary data, and third-party data, we are able actually to give a full and transparent picture on your event and how well they will do. It's really cool. If you guys are working with us, just ask your account manager to tell you to give you the tool, and you will see how cool it is. Yes, and a few other things that we did is always the biggest question mark of organizing which venue to actually have my event in. Our analytical tool and our forecast tool will tell you which venue will be suitable, and even we will help you get in touch with the venue and start planning for it, the P&L and so on. So combination of the primary data with our connections with them, we are working with them for the last 18 years. In Saudi, we are working for the last